What's up guys, Rob Sambles here. How are you guys doing? I hope you are well. Welcome to a new video, and today we are talking about how to photograph in the rain. And by that I mean how to protect your gear in the rain, especially your laptop. I put this as a poll on Twitter only for a couple of hours, so I apologise for you guys who didn't get a chance to see it, to see which of two videos I should make today, and you guys decided we were going to talk about photographing in the rain, so that is what we are going to be doing. It's going to be a good video, I hope. Let's get into it, let's go. Now, anyone who has watched my channel for more than a very short period of time knows that I absolutely hate to photograph in the rain. I hate to shoot in the rain, but I've had to do so on many occasions because sometimes you just have no choice. And I think you probably noticed I look happy in pretty much zero of those photos. Now, that's obviously me. I have my wet weather gear, I've got my wet weather jacket, I've got my wet weather trousers, but that's not what we are here to talk about today. We are here to talk about how do you keep your gear dry. And most importantly, the bit that's the biggest challenge in my personal experience, and the bit which I hate and the bit which I find the hardest, is how do you work pitch side in the rain. And I mean using your laptop, using your camera, seamlessly following that workflow, taking your memory cards and everything else. It's an absolute nightmare, but I think I do it in a way that enables me to crack on and do it, which I think is about as positive as I can be about photographing in the rain. Yep, that's as positive as I can be about it. Now, in a minute, we're going to talk through some of the gear. I've put links in the description to all the items that I talk about in this video, guys. So the rain covers, the cover I use for my laptop, all that stuff is linked in the description below. So go check it out, have a look, see what you think of some of it. Some fairly reasonable prices there on Amazon. I always try to link to the most reasonable priced option within that I can when I'm looking on Amazon. So check it out, maybe there's something there you want to pick up for yourselves. We're going to go downstairs, guys. We're going to head down to the conservatory. I need a little bit more room so I can show you some of the stuff and show you kind of how we set it up. Gonna go shoot down there because I have a bit more room. Before we do, if you guys enjoy this video, find it useful, please do hit that like button, smash it like you mean it, show me that you enjoyed the video. I think this is going to be a good one. But for now, let's get downstairs, let's go down there and let's get into it. Okay guys, so we've moved down to my conservatory. It kind of looks like I'm working in front of some kind of white screen, but it's not, just the blinds. It's quite bright outside, so I did that so the exposure wasn't too bad in here. So we've got a bit more room in here, and it means we can talk a little bit more about what we're using to keep ourselves dry, which still feels ironic on this hot sunny day. But hey, so the first thing to say is, of course, I want my gear to be in a case that will keep it dry. So whenever the forecast is looking wet, or whenever I think it's going to rain, I always take my gear inside the hard case, because then I've got the confidence that it will stay dry in here. Now, you guys have seen some other videos, you know this isn't an actual Peli case, this is like a replica case. You couldn't submerge this in water and crazy stuff like they show in the Peli case adverts, but this would be perfectly fine in the rain. You could leave your gear outside for an hour in this case and it would keep it perfectly dry. So that's the first thing that I always do to make sure my gear is going to stay dry. The other main thing that I need to be doing is making sure that my cameras are dry. And I always have this little backpack with me. Now inside here I will always carry two camera rain covers. I have the larger one, which is the Matin one. Now this goes over my long lens and camera. It's got the drawstring end so you can do it so it fits nicely around the end of the lens. Fully waterproof, there's no way any rain is getting in through this one whatsoever. Good length, so it would probably fit a 400mm as well. Big clear plastic screen at the back so you can see what you're doing nice and easily. And you'll also see the eyepiece kind of pokes through a little hole and clips on outside, so you can use that really comfortably. The actual brand of this one is Matin. And then I have the other smaller one, the Optec. This is actually technically a disposable rain cover, but I always carry this one. I find this one just the best size one to use for my Canon and my 70-200 lens. Really easy to use, my hand goes in the end. I can just fold that over when it's wet and I don't want to get the rain in there, and I find that's the really easy thing to use. This one again has the drawstring end, so you can make sure it fits nice and snug to the lens. It's almost like a plastic bag kind of material, I suppose, so again it's really waterproof. No way any rain is getting inside this bad boy. A little bit different on the back. You have to poke yourself a tiny hole for the eyepiece, but I find that works absolutely fine. Really easily to use. You can get your hand in and out of it. Really simple, and when you want to, you just fold over the end, so there is no risk of any rain getting in there. I should also say I have the little rain cover for the backpack, so that when this bag is sat out in the rain, that's covered up too, so that that's not going to get wet either. Now, another big thing that I always get asked quite a few questions about is how do you keep your laptop dry, or how do you use your laptop when it's pouring with rain? And the answer is that I use this. This is a Think Tank Pixel Sunscreen version 2.0. This is technically a device for shooting in the sunny weather, and I use it for that too, but I also find it really useful for when I'm shooting in the rain. Those of you guys who aren't familiar with this, it basically comes folded down into a disc, just like this. Really handy, really easy to use. You can fit it in your bag, you can clip it onto something. I've got an old security tag on there right now. Let's get rid of that. So really easy to transport, really easy to take everywhere. It folds out, really simple. Kind of take the edge off like so, and then it folds out really easy to nearly 5 times probably the size. Let's give you guys a closer look at this over here on the side. So the laptop literally sits inside it, almost like in the little tent. The base is fairly solid, so it's not going to go anywhere. It's got grippers on the bottom too, actually. Nice little hood over the top. You can see the hood kind of pokes out a bit further at the top than at the bottom, so there's no risk any rain's going to get in there unless it's like really kind of beating down from the side with the wind. On the side of it, it's got some little slots so you can run cables in and out, and again keeping it waterproof. No risk of the rain getting through. And then inside, the laptop is nice and dry, sits inside there, and you can just crack on and do your bit without risk of the laptop getting soaking wet. There's some clips inside, like in the top. I actually use those for connecting my memory card reader, so it's hanging from above and it's out the way. And also when you're not then actively using the laptop, you can see it's got this little tab, and you literally just pull it down, Velcro underneath, and then the whole thing sits in its own little cocoon, I guess, so it is bone dry until you need to use it the next time. And I find that really great to use. Not only will it keep your laptop dry inside, you can also kind of tuck your head inside it. And then it means that you're totally in there and dry. And there's actually, in the top, there is a rain cover that kind of comes out like a hood. So you can pull this out over your head. So if it is really chucking it down with rain, you could tuck yourself in and pull that right over the top. I might as well make myself look like an idiot and show you guys. So stick your head in. And then you really are encased, totally rainproof, and really handy to use. Okay guys, I think that's pretty much enough down here. Let's jump back upstairs to the office so we can finish up. And just like that, we are back upstairs in the office. I hope you guys found that cool. I hope you guys like to see how I do it. It doesn't make it any more fun. Shooting in the rain is still a challenge. Of course, the actual photographs become more of a challenge in poor weather, but the actual workflow is still always a challenge. But hopefully, if you follow some of those steps that I showed you there, use some of that gear, you'll find it a little bit easier, and it makes it work a little bit better for you. As I said earlier, if you did enjoy the video, please do hit that like button, smash it like you mean it. If you're new around here, please do think about subscribing. The subscribers are growing every day at the moment. We're getting at least a couple a day, which is really cool. Really enjoying that. So please do hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Loads more videos to come on the channel. I'm going to keep these coming at least weekly. Loads of other videos you should go check out as well. But it's always cool to see people joining into our little gang and seeing what we do. And hitting that subscribe button, I guess, is the best way that you can do that to help me out. Don't forget to go check out my social media channels, guys. Almost all those photos I showed you at the beginning, those came from like my Instagram stories and photos I posted on there in the past. I should put some behind the scenes stuff normally on there, so go check me out on Instagram. You guys know you can find me 3 different places. You can find me at Rob Sambles Photo. You can also find me at Rob Sambles Sport. And last but certainly not least, you can find me at Scorchers Photog. You can also find me on Twitter at Rob Sambles Photo. Go check those out, guys. that's pretty much it for today. I will see you guys on the next video next week. See you soon.